international companies to export at lower prices to the better conditions to Switzerland and vice versa. And I had to this morning.
Madam President, Your Excellency, thank you so much for your time in this very busy day, busy schedule for today. This is your first visit in Georgia in capacity of the President of Swiss Confederation. What is the which signs really good cooperation between Georgia and Switzerland? What was the main reasons, main aspects of your visit today? What are the key aspects of your visit today?
Yes, I came here because we celebrate this year 25 years of diplomatic bilateral relations, so a long-standing relation between Switzerland and Georgia, and I promised the Prime Minister that I come to Georgia because I think it's an important country for us. We have also this mandate of protection between Georgia and Russia, so we play a specific role. And on top of that, we have now signed another prolongation of the cooperation between Switzerland and Georgia, which will be delayed until 2020.
Switzerland, you mentioned already your role in the Georgian-Russian relations, and you're representing Georgian interest in Russia since 2009 and vice versa, the Russian interest in Georgia. What are the main challenges for the Switzerland in that regard? I mean, in this process, how you see that?
Well, because there's no official diplomatic relation between the two countries, so we serve as a moderator, as a platform of communication. So when every country would like to give some messages to the partner, they can use the Swiss channel. So we have open channel for both sides. And a part of that, we can do other services, but that's always upon request of Georgia or Russia. And so by that, we hope that they perhaps can contribute to a kind of reconciliation in the future, because a political solution might be difficult.
As a representative of both of these interests, do you see any kind of progress in these relations?
Well, progress, it's always little progress, because I think, what happened is deep in the Georgian society and also in the territories which are occupied. So this is a difficult situation. So therefore it takes a lot of time, perhaps also a generation, to survive the situation. And Switzerland, to be neutral, we must communicate with both sides on a neutral way. So that's, we talked also today, perhaps with also economic channels, people-to-people contacts. This might be a good opportunity.
In 2011, Georgia has voted for the accession of Russia to the WTO, and one of the main agreements was the control of the goods on the borders between Georgia and Russia, and most problematic are the conflict regions. Switzerland should take the control of this monitoring mission, but 6 years since then, we still not have any kind of monitoring on the places. What is the main reasons, and what is the role of Switzerland in that regard?
Yes, you're absolutely right. We have been supportive at the time that Russia could adhere to WTO. And now it takes a long time, you're right, but we have today the end of the negotiation about these customs facilities, and I hope that in the upcoming weeks we can really solve the little remaining obstacles to this agreement. But also that symbolizes the political will is here, but it takes a lot of time because every detail must be negotiated.
So a year ago, Georgia and Switzerland signed the agreement, free trade agreement, in the frame of the EFTA. So, but the agreement is still not in force. So when we are expecting that agreement will enter in force, and what impact of this, what will be the impact of this agreement between Georgia and Switzerland for our country?
Mm-hmm. here I have good news. You know, in our parliament we have 2 chambers, and the agreement passed in September, and so the ratification process on parliamentarian level is over, is done. Now we have 100 days of possibility of a referenda. This will expire in January, so you can expect that the free trade agreement will enter into force in spring. And that's good news, I think, because this allows Georgian companies to export at lower prices or the better conditions to Switzerland and vice versa. And I had this morning a meeting with investors already located here in Georgia, and I think they will profit from this agreement because we import already today, for example, agricultural products. And that's very welcome to Switzerland. And so you are more competitive with this new legal framework. So I hope that by this we can increase the trade volume between Georgia and Switzerland, and also in the investment volume, but it's still at the modest level.
So Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation has been really active since 1992. With cooperation of Georgia and supporting Georgian economy, and good governance and rural economic developments were really active part of this cooperation. What do you think for the future? Do we have still a lot of things to do in that regard? And also maybe how do you consider if education and science could be another area for our future tight cooperation?
In my discussions today with the President, the Prime Minister and the Chair of Parliament, I could follow that the progress really is amazing. So when it comes to democracy, the rules of law, human rights, also on governance, you made a remarkable progress and development. So we will focus in the future on economic development. So especially in agriculture, I think, because Switzerland is also a mountainous country, we have similarities on regional agriculture. We have still something to do on governance, for example, at the court system. And we think SMEs will be a driver of an economy. So also we have here in the SME sector a cooperation. We will continue. And last but not least, I think education is so important for a country. And here you have a very well-educated people, especially on the academic degree, but not everybody can go to university. So I think here in Switzerland we have professional education, vocational training, and this could also be very helpful for those who cannot go to university.
Madam President, your time to presidency is coming to an end. What is the next step for the President in Switzerland?
Well, in Switzerland, we have a government which has 7 members, and one of us is taking the vice presidency and the presidency, and then we rotate.
Yes.
So this gives us quite a lot of stability. So I step back, I remain in the government, and I have more time to care about my ministries, which is energy, which is infrastructure, communication. So I think there's a lot to do in Switzerland, especially also on energy. We could also here work with Georgia on hydropower, for example. So I won't be lazy next year.
Thank you so much, Madam President, for your time.
Thank you very much.